financial rewards associated with their lifestyle relative to living well and body wise. And I'm trying to remember the number, but I think it's, can you help me on the number? I know it's X million.
Well, just short of 900.
No, actually, you're now officially Bodywise Millionaires.
Just short of $900,000 we've earned with Bodywise. And let me tell you, for two teachers coming out of Muncie, Indiana, that's one chunk of change. Yes, sir.
You know, and well deserved. So again, it's lifestyle, and you enjoy doing it, and you've been talking to people about their health and obviously teaching it. And I know, Jim, you're a teacher also as well. So anyway, congratulations to both of you. And I'm going to turn it back to Steve. I think, Steve, you're going to talk with Debbie and Jim about their lifestyle and about use of the products and how they've been able to do so well over so many years. I tell you what still sticks in my mind, though, is no prescriptions. You know, I wish I could say the same. I mean, I remember when my mother was getting older, you know, she had this box, and I go, Mom, geez, you're taking nothing but these pharmaceuticals and a couple of supplements, but mostly pharmaceuticals. I started to understand that a little bit more as now I'm 78-ish. We'll stay there. I'm going to stay at 78. That's it. Anyway, Steve, back to you.
Thank you very much, Bill. And you're going to find a lot of people our age, Bill, that and Debbie's and Jim's age that don't take any prescriptions, thanks to my part to Bodywise. I know that I'm prescription free and have been. And I'm going to be turning 74 in June. So I think that I've always looked up to Jim and Debbie as far as what they've done and in the fitness field. And of course, every Thursday we get a nice article from Debbie. Actually, for those of you who have never met Debbie, this is the lady that writes every Thursday and gives you health tips and education, because that's really, as a professor of wellness at Ball State, and really a fantastic read she came out with in 2014, Meeting Her Match. You've got to get that. You can buy it on Amazon. It's very inspiring. I think you probably could have used that lady that you sent me a picture on which you sent me the 3 of the 5 starters on the Final Four basketball team Bill was talking about earlier. And that lady would have definitely been helpful on your volleyball team. She was one tall lady, and you didn't have a lot of tall girls on your team, if I'm sorry. So anyway, you know, with that, I think everybody needs to understand that everybody says something to somebody, and that's how they get on Bodywise. One of the biggest challenges we have as a group is a lot of people feel like you've got to be ill or have some issues to get on Bodywise. And Debbie and Jim, let's start with how you were introduced to Bodywise. Who introduced you, and why did they do that? Because clearly you guys are fitness people. So what was the motivation to get you on the products to begin with, or tell you about Bodywise?
Well, first of all, it's great to be on the call. And for all of you that do get my Thursday emails, it's really nice for you to see who I am, and Jim as well. So I'm glad you enjoy those emails, and they're fun to write, and I try to inspire everybody to get involved with a healthy and wellness kind of lifestyle. Jim and I were introduced to the Bodywise product, as Bill said, in 1992. We were 41 years old at the time. That just seems like forever. So it was 29 years ago. I was introduced by my brother, who is a physician. And he had, you know, with the company was pretty new, 1989, I believe. So he had started on the product and had some weight to lose and had some health issues he was trying to resolve. And he found them to be very successful for him. And then he got some of his patients on the products. And so after they had some success, he called me and he said, now I know you guys are really, really healthy. You probably don't take any vitamins, but I'm really interested in what the Bodywise products might do for you. I said, well, we take like a one-a-day vitamin. I mean, and then we exercise a lot. So I said, well, send us some products and we'll take a look. So we started on the AMs and PMs. There weren't that many products at that time. We had AMs and PMs. We had Beta C, cardio-wise, and then it was the Future Perfect, the protein shake. It wasn't called a Lance. So we started on those. Of course, at the time, I was a very active professor of physical education and health. Jim was involved in teaching special needs in an elementary school with a lot of sneezing, coughing children. We noticed changes. First of all, we noticed our immune systems were a lot stronger. That was before AG Immune. And we noticed sleeping better. Our workouts seemed to be less stressed. And I said, there's really something to this. And so I did some research, because being a professor, I didn't want to be taking something that was like, questionable. So we immediately flew out to California, and with my brother, the doctor brother, went to visit the facility. We saw the manufacturing of the products. We talked to the scientists that had formulated the products, and I was super, super impressed with all the things that BodyWise did to make these state-of-the-art products. So we started on the products then, have continued all these years, and we've changed what products we've taken over the years. When I was going through menopause, I took the female transitions. Jim, of course, being a really long distance runner, I was always a 5K, 10K, 15K runner, but Jim was really pounding the pavement. He took the athletic performance products, the Supercell and the Oxy-G and things like that for his workouts. And we just couldn't believe how much better we felt. And we were really pretty healthy at the time. So we just thought they were great. We started our children on the products. They were upper middle school at that time. And so they went in through their high school years on the products. And I'll tell you, it just seems like yesterday we got started, but here we are, 70 years old. I'm 70, Jim's soon to be 70. We feel like we're 40, and we keep up with our peers and our running group without any problem.
Deb, I know you mentioned some of the products you're taking now. I know that your son was, frankly, a high-end, big-time long-distance runner.
Right.
And you shared a pretty funny story with me about Chris, and you got a phone call one day. Why don't you share with everybody what that was about?
Well, our son was a distance runner. He ended up running at Indiana University, and he was a two-time All-American in cross-country and track in distance running. But in high school, we started him on the athletic performance products. He was on AMs and PMs and Beta C. Then we moved him into the Oxy-G and Supercell. And so he was winning all the cross-country races around Indiana. I mean, he was just a spectacular distance runner. And I got a call from the school one day, and they said, we are having opposing coaches from other schools call us and say, we noticed Chris Powers is taking some pills before he runs. We need to know what that is. What kind of drugs is performance drugs is he on? I said, oh my gosh, they're just vitamins. So I had to go in and show them, and they dispelled the rumors that Chris was on some kind of, enhanced performance enhancing drugs to make him run so fast and have such endurance. But anyway, that was kind of an interesting story. And I said, honey, be a little more discreet when you take your in the bus or in the locker room or something. Don't just go to the starting line and swallow these pills and then, take off. So anyway.
And he wasn't just winning, he was smoking people.
Yeah, he was smoking them. And like I said, he ran his best 5K. I don't know if you people understand 5Ks. He ran a 13:48 5K in college. So that's how super he was. And really never suffered stress fractures, any of the, these distance runners, they run themselves to death. And he really, really maintained strong performance through college, 5 years of college, indoor track, outdoor track, and cross-country season, all year long, running up to 100 miles a week, going strong. And that he was on Bodywise.
Now, Deb, weren't you involved in a study at the college about the calcium loss? Didn't you run a study or be involved in that study?
Well, no, I did not do the study, but I did the research on calcium loss, and I wondered why these athletes were getting stress fractures. And a lot of distance runners get stress fractures. And what I discovered was when you perspire, you lose calcium. And they did a study of basketball players, and they'd wring out their jerseys after practice and after games and note what kind of calcium loss was in their system. And it was huge. So calcium is a really big factor in the athletes too, because they sweat out calcium. And these guys were running, like I said, 100 miles a week in all kinds of hot, heat, weather, sweating like crazy. So that was an eye-opener for us. He never had a stress fracture.
So I'm making a not much of a leap here. I assume you and Jim both take your essential calcium from Bodywise.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we take, now we take practically everything. We take, obviously, the AG Immune. When it came out, oh my gosh, we were thrilled about that. The Joint Complete, the Omega, Beta C, Alonce.
I'm on the Male Advantage.
He takes Male Advantage now.
And I take CardioWise.
And CardioWise, yeah. And I might say that one of the challenges I have had in the last 10 weeks, I underwent a total knee replacement 10 weeks ago. And it was a result of, I played basketball in Indiana, and I tore up my knee, ACL tear then. I had it repaired in my 40s. I played in the Final Four, Bill, with a torn ACL. So, so many years later, I finally had that repaired. And over those years, of course, still being very active, even though it was repaired, I developed arthritis. And even though I took the joint compound, he said, you're done. So I did have a knee replacement. I flew through the surgery, very healthy going in. I'm now rehabbing like a superstar, they tell me at physical therapy. I respond very well to all the exercises. And I have found that the CBD cream to be a nice addition to my recovery. My scar is beautiful. The inflammation and the swelling has been amazingly low. So I found it to be a very nice enhancement to my recovery. And I'm looking forward to maybe not doing the Boston Marathon, but getting back out very soon in my regular activity.
Wow.
I know a lot of ladies are looking forward to you going up in your age bracket. They're tired of getting beat by a 70-year-old.
Yeah. I get that all the time, saying, oh my God, Powers is in this, I can plan on second place now,
Well, one of the things is a nice add-on. One of your teammates in the Final Four has been for quite a while now coaching at Stanford University, Tara Vanderveer, right?
Yeah, Tara Vanderveer and I were teammates at Indiana and roommates at Indiana when we traveled with the team. And she just won her third national championship with Stanford.
Wow.
She's a fantastic person. And I texted her after her win. Of course, she got about 800 text messages, and she texted me back. I mean, she is a wonderful, kind, gracious lady, and I'm so happy and proud of her. And she's an Olympic gold medal winner too with the Olympic team. So, coach. Yeah. So anyway, Tara, we're real proud of Tara. Yeah, our IU grad.
And for those of us, those people that are athletes, they understand that you always respond to your teammates of yesteryear first. You're all family, and you know, you have a bond when you're playing together, and it's always been that way with me, and it's always, I know, been that way with you as well. I mean, it is part of the deal.
But I'll tell you, back to the BodyWise products, I think, you know, when I share the products with other people and they go, oh my God, we want to look like you, we want to be like you. And I say, look, it takes consistency. It's consistency in action. It's not a pill you take today and tomorrow you're, you know, running faster. It's been years and years of us staying on the products, being consistent, being committed, as well as eating healthy, of course, exercising, and the long-term outcomes are amazing. You know, I used to lecture my college students and said, you know, guys, what you do today and tomorrow and the next 15, 20 years is going to impact what you're going to be like the last 10 to 15 years of your life. Well, they look at me like, what's this old lady know? But it's so true that consistency of the BodyWise products for us, 29 years has contributed to our excellent health, superior health. When I go to the doctor and the blood profiles come back the way, they can't believe it that I'm the age I am. I went through surgery. I was in surgery at 11 in the morning. I was home by 5. They kicked me out. They said, you're good to go, get out of here. And I know it had a lot to do with how healthy I was going in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, recovery is when you set yourself up for recovery, your body will respond. There's no question about that. Now, I know that Rollo, by the way, and a different subject here, dove into your numbers. I know you guys are numbers people. As the teaching, the educating part of that, you're very strict on your numbers. And I know you think it's only 900,000, but it's been confirmed that you've made over $1 million income in BodyWise. So congratulations. And obviously that makes an impact on your life, but would you guys kind of share with everybody, really, myself included, hopefully, how it's impacted, your plans financially, how your lifestyle, what you've been able to do because of the BodyWise income?
It's made all the difference in the world. 29 years ago when we started, we were 2 teachers, and I can just tell, we knew what our ceiling was going to be as 2 teachers in the public school system in Indiana. And so when this opportunity came around, of course, just as I was with the product, I said, what do you think? And she said, I think we need to be on these products for our health. And once we started on the product, she said, there is a business opportunity here. And we looked at it and I thought, well, maybe we could pay for the products. That would be a great way to start. So she just started sharing with people, and lo and behold, before long, we were not only paying for the products, but we had enough to maybe take an extra vacation. And so before long, we were basically making a 3rd full-time income on a part-time basis, which was what was so wonderful for us. We could continue with our careers in teaching, which we were passionate about, raise the kids, and have a 3rd, for us, a full-time income on a part-time basis. And we were passionate about it. So it allowed us to retire from our teaching jobs at 55. The kids were through college at that time. And we had planned for this. And we then retired at 55, moved here to our paradise in St. Augustine, Florida. And have since built a home on where we are currently. We're about,
throw a baseball to the beach,
as I would say, 440 yards, which is a quarter of a mile basically from the
beautiful beach.
Right to there. And we have purchased an investment rental condo which overlooks the ocean. And we've been able to travel to visit our daughter who lives overseas, and our son who's out on the West Coast. And we were just talking this evening, now that things are starting to loosen up and travel, it's made all of the difference in the world to us as 2 professional teachers for our career to be able to have that additional income.
And we put our children through college debt free. I mean, they had no college debt when they graduated.
And a lot of that was basically a part-time strategy for a lot of those years you were doing that, which is the power of network marketing, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting in bleachers watching your kids play sports and people look around and say, God, you guys look great. What do you do to stay in shape? And so I would just open my mouth and tell them. And then even now they go, gosh, you guys are 70 years old. I can't believe it. Well, how do you stay so fit and so look so good? Well, we tell them. So, and that's just been sharing the products. We don't go, running around knocking on doors. We are walking testimonials to the BodyWise products.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your time this evening, taking it out. And I know it's a couple hours later than it is where I am, so I appreciate that. I want to turn the call back over to John Paul, and he can open it up for some questions if folks have any.
Absolutely. I'm unmuting the microphones of everyone. And if you have your microphone muted, please unmute it if you'd like to ask a question. And I see we have our friend Dave Mikas on here as well. He was featured on the last call.
Yep, was here. Wanted to say hi to the Powers family and all of that. So congratulations, wonderful career, and keep going strong. Keep up the good work as usual, guys. It's been a marvelous 29, 30 years for all of us. So we appreciate that. You guys have been powerful.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see you.
We're looking forward to the next 29.
Much accomplished. All right, we'll do it again.
Great. And did anybody else have a comment or a question?
Hi, it's Adrienne Morrison.
Welcome, Adrian.
How are you?
Good, good.
I'd like to ask Debbie and Jim a question about the athletic performance products, the Oxy-G and the Supercell. What do you find is the difference between those two products? I get similar results from both products when I work out, but I just wonder what they notice as the main results they get from both those products.
Well, the Oxy-G I see as an oxygenating type of product, whereas the Supercell is more of a recovery because of all the stress on your body from exercise. It's filled with all the phytonutrients and all the ingredients that help with recovery and all the wear and tear on your body. And I think Supercell is just basically for your cell recovery. Oxygenation is the Oxy-G. Jim took both, and I don't know if you remember
During
how
competitions, yes. Prior to the event, and then on a 26-mile marathon, I took it, I believe, 2 to 3 times during the event.
you actually carried
How many would you take, say, an hour before you start a long run?
2 hours or an hour?
An
You took
hour.
two an hour before.
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour prior to the run. Yes, and then
Would you take
on a
2
4, I
weeks
was shooting for 4 hours, and my marathons every time, and I've hit that goal each time that I've run them, and I would take both of those products during the race as well.
So which one would get rid of more lactic acid than the Supercell?
Steve, what do you say on that? I don't know which really would remove the lactic acid.
Probably the Supercell, I would say, just because of the high antioxidant formula part of it. We don't have ammonia scavengers in either one.
Right.
We previously had a product that had that, but we don't have ammonia scavengers in either one of those. So I would say the Supercell, right in line with what you're talking about from a recovery perspective. And of course, the AG Immune after your workout definitely makes sense.
For the anti-inflammatory?
As yes.
Okay. That's great.
What you feel like CoQ10 is.
Okay. I noticed we have Bev Copeland on the line.
Oh, Bev.
And Bev is a dedicated golfer.
And you don't want to mess with her in the gym either, by the way. She will embarrass you.
She will embarrass me in the gym.
I'm telling you, the woman is an animal. I wish she'd unmute her phone or her deal and tell us how many miles she does.
Well, during the winter, I do about 150 on the bike in the gym.
Say it again, Bev. I didn't hear you.
150 to 160. I'm getting into golf season right now.
And Bev, if you don't mind telling people, how old are you?
Well, if I live another week and a half, I'll be 80.
God love you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I started Bev on the products many years ago, and she's, man, oh man, she is an animal. I'll tell you.
Yes.
Fellow Hoosier.
Happy birthday, Bev, in advance. And I know you also enjoy a super CBD cream as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I use the Supercell, and of course you have it at the end, again at the end of this month, I hope. And the Oxy-G. I use all of it.
Fantastic. Anybody else with a question or comment?
I might mention too, I haven't discussed the weight
Yeah.
issue. And as I have thought back about all these years, what we used to say, if you put on just a couple of pounds per year over this last 29 years, how different I would feel and look than I do now. And I don't go a day without the shakes.
Oh, yeah.
That helps me get my fruits, vegetables, and vitamins, and it helps me with a good meal replacement. And I'm happy to say I'm at the same weight actually that I was in high school.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge thing for that. I felt like a rock star when I went back home to my 50th class reunion a couple of years ago. Of course, I come back down here to Florida and I'm chopped liver around all my buddies that are good runners, but it certainly helps. And I think just the mentality of feeling so much better. We live in the world, in the nation's oldest city, and there are people that will come here, and it's a very small city, and they don't want to walk from one side to the other. And it's just so helpful to us to be in decent shape, to be able to enjoy walking in this beautiful city when we go to visit our daughter over in Prague or wherever we may be, to be able to walk around and to exercise and to see things. There's so much out there in this big, beautiful world. And to be able to walk and do that freely and comfortably has just, talk about a quality of life issue. That's not competing in races. That's just a quality of life issue. And pushing 70, and I'll be 70 here in July, along with not taking any medications that's got me tied down. That is, I think, now becoming such an important part of our lives.
I have to add to that comment our daughter made to us a year ago. We go over to visit her once a year, stay for a month in Prague, in the Czech Republic. That's where she lives. She's 38 years old. And she said to us last time we were there, she said, "Mom and Dad, I want to thank you for taking such good care of yourselves. You come over here and you hike and walk and we go all day long, all over Europe." She goes, "My friends, their parents come here and they can't do anything. And many of them are ill and they can't even make the trip." She thanked us for taking care of ourselves with body-wise.
I'll tell you, you mentioned the reunion. We went to Cindy's reunion here not too many years ago, and we walked in the room, and I just stopped dead in my tracks, and I looked at her. I said, "Are we in the right place?" I mean, it looked like a senior assisted living place. I mean, I'm looking around going, "Oh my God, I don't want. Let's get out of here." This is you talk about some reality as far as your actual age. I never feel my age. And then I walked in there and I realized these people are my age. And I went, dang, we are getting chronologically advantaged. These people are rode hard and put away wet. I couldn't believe it, but it just shows you that's probably typical of what you find in America these days is you've got a bunch of people that are over medicated and don't move.
Yep,
That's
yep,
exactly right.
exactly.
They need us desperately.
Yeah,
It's
they
a-
need it, and they need body wise, there's no doubt.
And it's a huge quality of life
Yeah.
enhancement.
They want to complain about their doctors, their medications, their surgeries, or that why they can't do this, why they can't do that, but they aren't willing to invest a little bit in their health and take some of the body wise products.
I hear you.
And you can't put a price on that.
Mm-mm.
No.
That's above and beyond all the other benefits that we've gotten from the financial benefits have been absolutely fantastic and life-changing, but you can't put a price on that good health. So
Just lose it once, you'll find out how much it's worth.
Yes.
Thank goodness for the 29 years of being on these products.
And you're married well, Jimmy, don't forget that. She's going to tell you what to take and when to take it. And you just
Yes.
salute like you're supposed to and everything will be fine.
I've known that for 45 years.
Well, are there any last questions or comments? If not, I think we'd like to hear from Bill Farley and
Yeah, Jean Paul, I've just been honestly inspired. Gosh, Jim and Debbie, they just really, they're a wonderful couple. You can tell that. I mean, this is not manufactured. They're very genuine. Great to hear about their family. I didn't, those genetics, Dad, those genetics sound pretty good to me on both sides when you're able to have such health in the family and such athletes. Shelly, we have Liam, the youngest. Around the time he was pretty young is when I bought BodyWise, and she immediately put Liam, the youngest, on BodyWise. He's been playing professional basketball over in Italy. He's 6'5.5". And so Shelly says, now how did that happen? And she said, okay, yeah, genetics play a factor, but it was BodyWise. I had him on BodyWise, and he used to say to her, Mom, no other kids are taking these supplements. You make me take them every morning. She said, yeah, and you're going to be great. And what I heard from Jim and Debbie this evening has to do a lot with attitude. I mean, there's a lot of genetics involved here, obviously, for everyone, but also your lifestyle and what you're putting in the body and your nutrition. When I was first attracted to a guy named Dr. Deepak Chopra, maybe 40 years ago, because he was always talking about this mind-body connection. And I thought, he would talk about nutrition. He would talk about your attitude, your mind, a commitment to a lifestyle. There were very few doctors at that time that were talking about those kind of issues. So he inspired me. Deb, I was not happy to hear about a knee replacement, but I was taken with your comments about the knee replacement because I have arthritis. I used to run a lot. I don't really run anymore. I walk fast and do bicycling because I've got arthritis in the knees also. And, maybe at some point we'll need a knee replacement, but I'm only 78. So I don't want to rush these things. But anyway, guys, you've motivated me. You've been an inspiration on this call. I thank you for all your efforts on behalf of BodyWise and earning $1 million and having that freedom, as you say, that a salary of a teacher would not have provided you. But more than that, it's who you are. It's who you are as a couple. It's who you are as individuals. And anyone that listens to you will be inspired and motivated, and you guys get it. And that comes across. And I thank you for that. And I think everyone on this call should be very grateful to hear from you two tonight. So a special thank you to Jim and Deb for this evening's presentation. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Thank you.
Bill, I do want to say, I don't want to fool anybody on the call. It does increase your height. How did you get Liam 6'5" on the Body Wise products?
Yeah, well, Shelley did this video, and in the video that we're gonna publish in a couple of days from now, she'll tell the secret of how he got to be 6'5.5".
Okay.
I was,
okay.
I was the father. I mean, that's a certainty. We did genetic testing, but she'll give you the rest of this, as Paul Harvey in Chicago used to say, and you'll hear the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Okay, great to see you guys.
Thank
Steve,
you very
thanks.
much.
Thank you.
Wonderful to
Yeah,
be on.
absolutely.
Good to see you all as well.
Yeah, thank you. Steve, back to you and Jean Paul.
All right. Well, John Paul, I'm just going to hand it right back to you. I want to thank Deb and Jim, and congratulations. Welcome to the club. It's not a small accomplishment, guys.
Oh, it is.
Congratulated.
I didn't even
It
know.
certainly is. Well, I've slipped up on some of my numbers, but I can just tell you, we would not be here in
We would
this
not be
situation
retired.
without Body Wise. No
No
question
way.
about it. Yes, no question.
Okay, guys.
John Paul.
And I do have one other comment. If you're working on those products for additional height, can you work on one for learning guitar? Because I'm still trying to learn to play the guitar here as I'm aging, and I'm not having much luck. So if you have any success there, let me know.
We're working on that pill, but it's a long time coming.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for your participation. Bill, Jim, Deb, everybody. And I guess we'll call that an evening, folks. And I'm not sure what our next one will be, but you'll be watch your emails, and we will communicate. It'll either be a conference call or it'll be a Zoom call. So with that, I want to thank everybody, and y'all have a great evening.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Guys, night.